Hey YouTube, welcome back to Cassandra's Kitchen, where I eat to live and not live to eat. Today I'm going to be making a lemon cake, a delicious lemon cake with some buttercream or cream cheese icing, vegan that is. So if you're interested in how I make this delicious and moist lemon cake, stay tuned and I'll show you. All right, guys, so here we are. We're going to make a simple lemon cake. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with my sugar. I'm going to be using 1.5 cups of sugar. And I usually use monk sugar. I'm out of monk sugar, so I'm using the Trevia cane sugar blend. It's 75% fewer calories than regular sugar. It's non-GMO, but this is what I'm using because they didn't have my monk sugar. And I'm going to go ahead and put in my 1 cup of butter. And this is plant-based butter. Just one. This is what's going to make it so moist and delicious. So 1 cup of butter. We're going to need 1 egg. And I am using the Just Egg as my egg substitute. And for the Just Egg, you use 1/4 cup. For 1 egg. So I'm just going to put 1/4 cup of Just Egg in there. And I'm going to put in my salt. So 3/4 teaspoon of salt. So that's 1/4. Then I'll just put my 1/4 in there 3 times. Okay, so that's 3/4 teaspoons of salt. You're gonna need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. So I have my baking soda, so 1.5 teaspoons. Where's my teaspoon? So this is my half. And then my 1. Okay. And then we're going to need 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I got to get my vinegar out, so bear with me. Okay. Crap. I'm out of vinegar. Well, I got some vinegar right here. Okay. You can use apple cider vinegar or white vinegar, either or. I like apple cider vinegar, but I am out. Didn't realize I used the last of it, so I will be using white vinegar. And it's just 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Okay. All right. And again, I would prefer the apple cider vinegar. I like apple cider vinegar. I use it a lot. And then we're going to need 1 tablespoon of regular vanilla extract. Tablespoon. And then we're going to need 3 tablespoons of your lemon extract. So this is my pure lemon extract. This is the Watkins brand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and start just to mixing this slowly, just to get that butter and sugar in there. So on slow, just go ahead and start mixing that together. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and get in my flour. So you need 2 3/4 cups of flour. So let me get my flour out of here. That's 1. And you can kind of mix this slowly so to mix good as you're putting it in. Let me get my other cup together here. Stop my thing. That's 2. And then I'm gonna get my 3/4 cup. So a little under 3 cups of flour. All right, and that's about another 1/3 of a cup. And get that down in there, okay? And then what you want to do is get you a spatula so you can get all that off the side of your pan, of your mixing bowl, just to make sure it's down in here good. Just gonna scrape. You can just smell that lemon. It smells good already. We want all of our ingredients to be mixed in there good. Okay, now we can turn our mixer up just a little bit. Let that go for a minute. And the last thing we're gonna put in here, now that we have that, we're gonna stop it, and we're gonna put our milk in. And it calls for 1.5 cups of milk, and you just use any type of plant-based milk. So I have almond milk that I'm using, just your regular, original unsweetened almond milk. Again, you can use any plant-based milk that you like. That shouldn't be a problem. And it's 1.5 cups. Let's see here. There we go. And get my milk in here. Turn this back on. Kind of go low. Okay. And that's mixing in there really good. Just let it, you don't want to over mix, just let it mix for a minute or so. All right, let's see what we got here. Looks like we got a nice good mixture going. Okay, so make sure ain't no lumps and things down in here. So that looks good. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna pour this into our bundt. I'm using a bundt pan. You can use 2 8-inch pans if you prefer, but I'm gonna use a bundt pan for mine. So come on over here and I'll show you my bundt pan and how I got that prepared. All right, so I had my bundt pan prepared. I just put a little grapeseed oil down in there and then use flour to coat it. And now I'm gonna get my batter poured in here. So it's a nice smooth batter. And you want your oven to be set to, get my spatula here. You want your oven to be set to 350. And it's gonna cook for about 30 to 40 minutes, just depending on your oven at 350. You know, just check it to make sure it's clean. It comes out clean in the center. So everybody's oven's differently, but I say set it initially for 30 minutes and then come back and check it. And if you need a little bit longer, definitely let it set in there. But a 350 oven is what you want your oven to be set to, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the oven. And the next thing we're gonna work on while this is in the oven, we're gonna start working on our cream cheese icing, which is delicious. So get this in my oven. All right, so now for the icing, I am using plant-based cream cheese. This is the Simple Truth organic brand. I got this from Kroger. It's soy-free, dairy-free. You can use any cream cheese, or you can just use butter, you know, to make just a buttercream. You can use just any plant-based butter as well. I like the cream cheese icing myself better, so that's why I am going with the cream cheese. So I'm using 1.5 tubs, or you can substitute and do a 1/2 stick of butter and 1 tub of cream cheese. I've done that before as well, you know, kind of mix the two, like for your buttercream. But I'm more of a cream cheese icing. I just love that cream cheese taste when it comes to icing. So I just use 1.5 tubs because that's gonna be plenty of icing for us to make our, to icing our cake. And then we're gonna use some more lemon zest. extract, I mean. So 1, 2 teaspoons of your extract. And then what we're gonna put in here, we're gonna put some lemon. And about three tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm gonna try to measure this while I squeeze my squeezer. 1. That's 2. I'm gonna need to get my other piece, one moment. All that big old lemon and only 2 little squeezes came out of there. And I'm just gonna squeeze just a hair. Okay, so that's my 3. And then we're gonna need 3 cups of powdered sugar. And you can use any powdered sugar. This is the monk sugar sweetener. I had a little bit of that left, so I'm gonna definitely be using that. So this is how we're gonna make our icing. I need my, forgot my cup was still wet from the other stuff I use. So let me get my powdered sugar measured here. I'm getting it there, y'all. I had to open up another thing of sugar and try not to make a mess. So that's 1. Okay. 2. 3. Okay. Might be slightly off just a hair, but that's okay. Now, we want to start this off on low because you're going to blow sugar all over your place. So just start that on low. Get all that mixed in there. And you want to start off with cold cream cheese. The colder, the better. Let me get this up here. And I think we're gonna need some more cream cheese in here because it's not as thick. This cream cheese is kind of loose. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Because this cream cheese is a little looser than what I normally like. Tastes good though. I'm gonna add a little butter to mine just to thicken my icing up. So, it's okay. I'm gonna add about a half a stick of butter in here. My butter's a little more chilled too than my cream cheese. And that's okay. Now let's see what we got going on here. So thicken it up some. Just let this mix. Just have your little spatula just to knock down your icing on the side. Just get that down in there real good. And let this mix up. Now, like I said, normally you can mix it with the cream cheese and the butter. My cream cheese, you can see, it's been in the refrigerator, but this is a little more softer than the one I had from the other brand. That's why I wanted to use the butter just to thicken it up some. Or like I said, you can use all butter. That's fine. Buttercream, cream cheese icing, or both. just want to let this go for about a minute or so. Take a look here. Now you can see it looks like a nice thick icing. And it tastes good. It's actually got a really good flavor. And what I would recommend you do while your cake is cooking, just let your icing rest in the refrigerator. That way it'll be good and cold when your cake cools. And then just put it on there so it don't melt. But yeah. It's definitely got good flavor, that lemon. The lemon zest extract and the lemon juice from the whole lemon. That can taste really good. Okay. I think that is perfect there. A good consistency for the icing. As you can see, hopefully I can see this really well. It's a nice thick icing. And I'm just going to set my icing in the refrigerator while my cake is finished cooking. And once it cools, we'll take it out and get it icing. All right, guys, I just took the cake out. It cooked for about 40 minutes in the oven on 350. I'm going to insert a toothpick. See, my toothpick came out clean. So it's definitely nice and fluffy. And it has risen to the occasion. And I also wanted to just let you guys know, you don't have to use the monk sugar for your icing. I had monk sugar, which I didn't have enough to do the whole cake. So I end up using the organic powdered sugar. So I was going to use the monk and this, but I end up just using all of the organic powdered sugar. They didn't have any more monk, so I had to go with this one. And I was going to mix it, but then I said, no, I'll just keep it all the same. So just wanted to let you guys know that. That's a lot cheaper too, but I like monk sugar. It's more healthier for you, but that's what I'm using on this one. So this is the cake. We're going to let it cool in the pan for about 15 minutes or so. Then I'm going to transfer it over to a plate. And once it cools completely, we'll get it all iced. Okay, y'all, it popped right out of my pan. Look at that pretty bundt cake. I let it just sit in there for about 4 or 5 minutes. That's it. Pan's still good and hot. But if you flour it really good, it'll pop right out. So this allow it to cool. So I'm going to let it sit on the counter until it completely cools. And my icing is in the refrigerator because I want it to be nice and cold when I put it on my cake. But look at that, guys. A nice vegan lemon cake. And it's moist. I already know it's going to be moist, but yeah. But I just want to guys show you that it pops right out if you grease your pan really well and flour it. Shouldn't have a problem with it sticking. Okay, so now we are ready to ice in our cake. I have a little bit of icing left over from my last cake I made that I'm going to use. You see it sit in the refrigerator for about a week and a half, and it's really good and firm. This is the one that I just made. It's a little bit more looser, but once it sits in the refrigerator a little bit more, it will definitely stiffen up even the more. But they both are fine. But I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of this up only because I had this first. My cake has been out for about 30 minutes or more. It's still slightly warm, but that's okay because I'm going to actually just sit it in the refrigerator when I'm done with it. But I want to use this little bit of icing first. Just because. And this one was made completely with the monk sugar, not the regular powdered sugar. They taste good. The monk sugar has a little bit more cooler taste to it, but both are gonna be fine. I just prefer the monk sugar over the regular, but they didn't have any, so I had to do the powdered sugar, the organic powdered sugar. So, but we're just gonna get this icing. And all I'm trying to do is I'll smooth it out once I get this icing on here. I'm just trying to use this up. And just a nice cream cheese icing. This one actually, I use cream cheese. I use a different cream cheese brand on this one. So it's a little thicker, I think. But I still use some of the, a half a stick of butter as well with it. I think it's just the butter gives it a little more firmness to the texture, unless you're using a really nice firm cream cheese. but they both taste just as good. So mixing it is the way to go. Or at least have your cream cheese in the refrigerator to get real good and firm before you start to make it. Okay. All right. And if you want a bigger cake, as you see, my cake pan is really deep. So if you really want a bigger bundt cake, I would say you can do 1.5 the recipe, and just make it a little bit bigger. But this is perfect for us because, you know, we don't want that much cake around the house because it's good and we just keep eating it. Well, I don't want that much cake around the house. My husband's like, you don't. Speak for yourself, woman. So what I'm going to do, because usually when I ice in my cakes, if it's still a little warm, what I do, I put 1 layer on there. And it's really not warm, but I can still see the little sweat coming up on it. I'll ice in it 1 layer, put it in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes, bring it back out, and do another layer. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to ice in it and put it in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes. Because you can see it's kind of sweating a little bit there. And then I'll bring it back out and finish icing the rest of the cake. Just give it an opportunity to let that icing kind of sit. And then once it sits on there, we'll smooth it in really good. Kind of decorate it more so. But right now, okay, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for a few minutes because, again, it's still a little warm. And I'm just trying to do this video to show you the cake. But I'm going to need to stick the icing in the refrigerator for a few minutes. So I will be back. All right, so guys, we are done. I made way too much icing, and it's a little looser than what I wanted it to be, but it's so good. So here we have our cake, and just to top it off, you can do like a little bit of lemon zest on top, just to just a little decor. Okay. Just kind of even it up a little bit on here. Don't want them too thick. Just little bitty chunks of lemon zest. Okay. I want to just knock it out so there we go. And there you have it. Simple, easy lemon cake. Clean off my pan plate a little bit here. Okay. All right. There you have it. Simple, easy, vegan lemon cake. And so now we are going to jump into doing our taste test. So, Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Can I have your assistance, please?
Yes, you may.
Come on over here, sir. Actually, I want to use my white plate. Cut your piece of cake out on here and let me tell them what you think about this cake. Let's see. Let me get a napkin, get a fork, get a knife. Voila. We're just going to see what this tastes like. Nice and moist. All together really nicely. The icing tastes good.
What? You want me to go ahead and taste it or what? All right. Here we go,
You're
y'all.
looking like you're scared of it.
No, I'm just waiting for you, baby. I don't know what you want me to do. Wait.
Bite number 2.
It's really good. Flavor.
Is it moist?
Very moist.
That's that butter.
It's moist. You can taste the lemon flavor in there, y'all. You won't be disappointed. It's really good.
Cool beans.
It's really, really, really is good.
Let's let them see.
It's really very close to that blunt cake. You know, the bundt cake that you buy at the store, the bundt cake, the bundt cake.
Nothing but cake.
Yeah, nothing
That's
but
what
bundt
he's talking
cake.
about. Nothing
It's
but
really
cake.
good.
I want to know if
Really
they can see
good.
this.
You won't be disappointed.
Let me see. This is just an up close. See how moist it is?
Yeah, it's really good. Moist, very rich. You won't be disappointed. It's really good.
Let me just take a little taste and see. Without the icing. Super moist.
Yeah, it's super moist.
Wow.
It's just that I think that the icing might needs to
Just
cool
chill.
off some more, yeah, because it's still kind of real soft.
I like cold cake, so I put it in the refrigerator.
Must be really good. I see you still going at it.
Well, I figured you took 2 bites. I might as well take 2 bites and just even
It's
it out,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, here it is.
Here it is.
My vegan lemon cake.
Yes.
Super
It's
moist.
amazing, y'all. It's
Super
great.
good. The icing, of course, it tastes good. It's a little looser than what I would normally like my icing to be. Just go add a little bit more. All you got to do, if your icing is a little looser, add just a little bit more sugar. And then that's all you got to do. And then, you know, your powdered sugar.
You need butter, right? Not
Well,
sugar.
the butter, but more sugar thickens it up too.
Oh.
Yeah. So just add a little bit. I could have added another cup of sugar in there and then thickened it up. But that was plenty because this is going to be gone in no time. But guys, here you have it. My lemon cake. If you like it and you try it, you know what to do.
Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up.
And of course, share this video.
Yes, please.
And if you haven't already subscribed to Cassandra's Kitchen,
subscribe.
subscribe. What are you waiting for? And again, from my kitchen to yours.
Yes.
Until next time, we love you. Be blessed.